All right. If my dog starts barking, I'll mute myself.
Okay. No, you're good. Was I just talking to you? Yeah, this is Aaron, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And my dog, he's kind of partially getting filtered out, but there he is. My healer. Hey, buddy.
That's
Oh,
funny.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't really have a format for this, right? It's just Q&A for anyone that has questions about business credit, uh, business funding, because really I started the group. That's what I do, right? I started 9 years ago in funding, and I started off with personal credit cards, and I just took the same exact strategy and applied it to business, right?
Right.
The only thing is that because I started 9 years ago before it was such a big popular thing on the internet, all my business would come from referrals, right? And all I'm doing differently now is I'm just marketing, but I've never done any sort of like marketing, things like that, right? Um, so, but I know a lot about business credit, how to get it, and just credit in general. Aaron, you're from the Sub 2 group, right?
Oh, well, Gator, actually.
Oh, you're from Gator. Okay, I was thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
joining Gator. I don't know what that's like. How do you like Gator?
I like it. I think any of Pace Morby's groups that there's a real danger of shiny object syndrome. So you
Right.
have to be really careful about picking one thing and focusing on that and getting success with that one thing before going to something else.
Right.
And I was starting to fall into that trap before I decided, no, I need to focus in on this business that I'm doing right now, the transactional lending.
Mhm.
But I do do some connecting, and so that's one thing that interested me when I saw your stuff pop up, and I figured, well, maybe there's a way I can connect people I know who need funding with whatever you do. So I know you're doing the education component. I'm sure there's a service component to it as well. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yeah, of course, there's a service component to it as well. Like the education is because I can't always hop on education calls, right? So I have that piece, and then the what I really do is the funding for people.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
you have affiliates that send people to you, and
Affiliates, yeah, that's actually how I started my business. So basically, 9 years ago when I started, I was learning just to get my own credit card, right? And
Mhm.
as I started to, I was 21, by the way, I'm 30. And so that's why it was such a novel experience, right? Because going from yeah, just the whole understanding credit piece, I just never had it, right? I had to learn. And I taught my other friends that were also about I didn't go to college, right? I just didn't go, but I had friends that were graduating and they were also starting to learn about the credit system. And so that's how I started to like basically get my first clients was just helping friends. And eventually they started sending me people, right? And
Oh, nice.
that's how I built everything. And now I'm just marketing because I noticed that there's more people doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
No, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if these are note takers or if these are other people in the group. I mean, it's fine. I don't mind the note takers, but I'm really confused. Oh wait, there's another person here. I hope they're people.
Uh,
Because then
um,
it's just it might just be a bunch of note readers. But either way though, it's good. Hey group Gurpreet, how are you?
Hey, good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. How we just kind of started. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was talking to Aaron. He's in the Gator group. So I'm not sure if you know what Gator is, but basically it's like private money lending.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm David. I'm actually the creator of TradeLine Secrets, right? I created the group, the school group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do, I guess? Like are you new to the group?
I'm very new to the group, and I actually work in IT. I'm an IT professional.
Mhm.
So I'm working in IT for almost 24 years now, you
Right.
know. So being there, done that, so I'm trying to figure out what else am I gonna do. So I want to go to real estate. That's what my goal is. I did run some Amazon and Walmart store, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to work out.
Right.
So, I'm just trying to do something new. So we'll see. That's the
Got it.
plan.
Okay, no, that's awesome. So I was telling Aaron that what I do is I help people get funded, business owners and real estate investors as well. The primary people that I help are people from like the group, the investing group's called Sub 2, right? That's the name of the group. And
Okay.
I work with a lot of people from that group. But
Okay.
yeah, and really I created school to teach people about business credit and how to get
Mhm.
the funding for their whatever, either their project or their business, right? And
Okay.
yeah, so
Cool.
it'll still help you though, because whatever you decide to do, like if you decide to start
Hmm.
like whatever business you want to start, it'll be beneficial,
That'd
right?
be great.
Yeah. How long ago did you join the group?
I think I'm recent, not that long ago. I think
Hmm.
about a month and a half ago, month ago or so, I think, if I'm not wrong. Not that
Okay.
long. Yeah. I didn't
How
dig
much?
deep into it yet on that. That's the reason. I said, well, you were doing class. Let me see what is all about, how that works, and then we go from there.
Got it. Yeah. So basically, um, that my school's about like getting the funding, and then from there, most people that join, I've actually been noticing some people are either repair specialists and they want to get into funding, right? So
Uh-huh.
I've been noticing a mix of people that actually want to do what I do, and then others are just traditional business owners and real estate investors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what have you, I guess, like, because like but the format that I had in mind was like question and answer, but
Okay.
I didn't really have a presentation. But regardless, though, if I just know your level of knowledge, it'll help me with figuring out like what I can talk about.
Well,
Um,
I don't have too much until, like I said, I don't need a credit repair. What I say is my credit is pretty good. Is
mhm.
I do have a little bit high utilities, that's for sure. I know that, and I'm working towards that. I was trying to see how the business funding works.
Right.
Because there's so many people out there like, oh, you do this and you get 2 years LLC and you can get 100,000, 250,000. Or if you got just a brand new LLC, you can do, like 50,000 to 250,000. So I'm just trying to figure out how this whole process works, and then go from there. So that's
Okay.
and then some people charge a lot of money, some people charge less money if you do funding with them. So I'm just trying to figure out how this whole process works, being very honest.
No, that's good. That's a good question. So I can do a quick rundown of yeah how funding works in the industry. So the main thing that you might run into is you might run into people offering you to build you up a profile called Paydex. I'm not sure if anyone's here heard of Paydex. Have you
Yeah,
heard
I
of it?
have heard about Paydex. That's like the business credit score, right? If I'm not wrong, like 80, like you gotta be 85% or something like that, or 85
Mhm.
points or something to 110. I think that's what it was. I heard
Yeah.
someplace about Paydex. That's what it was on a business, not on your personal.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a range and they score it by I believe 100 is the max. Yeah. And
Okay.
and it's payment experiences, right? And you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
hear a lot of people that tell you to get that. And the the platform that they offer you is always it's called like fundability.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I bring it up is because that whole process of building up Paydex isn't really it's not needed actually. You don't need that because on the actual applications there's not a spot for it that requests they call the DUNS number, right?
Yeah, I have a DUNS number already.
Hmm.
I have a LLC already, which was my Amazon kind of a Walmart, like a retail LLC. Miss, I was trying to figure out, Miss, I got screwed a little bit, being very honest with you. So I'm on that part. But I'm trying to get out of it. But I want to do something else. And real estate has been, I'm looking into real estate from a long time. I
Hmm.
just never put effort on it. So I just wanted to figure out how the funding works because everybody has that mind of OPM, other people's money.
Yeah.
Like I understand that. What do I need to do? Where the
Okay.
so I'm
Yeah, you
looking
know
at
what?
like uh
I'll treat this like how I treat my real estate clients, right? And uh
okay.
yeah, and this is the exact conversations I basically have with them. So the first thing is Paydex, you don't need to build a Paydex. It's not needed. Even if you wanted to get a business loan, there's not like nowhere in the application do they ever ask for your DUNS number, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of places they still want to check your personal credit. So you still have to
Yeah.
have strong personal credit
Yep. Yep.
regardless,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Um, but if for whatever reason you still want to build it, like I have like the full option here for free, right? And this is what I'm talking about, like that people charge like I think it's Prime Corporate Services is like $2,000 to $3,000 in consulting to build your Paydex.
Hmm.
But I have like the Paydex vendors and all that. And so, but again, it's not required or needed. The actual like how you get funded is all right here. It's the ideal credit
Hmm.
profile that you want to hit. Uh, which I should put it in here actually. Um, here,
Okay.
let me pull it up from my drive. Yeah, because I have everything here. Here, I have a lot. Is it this one? Yeah, this is it. And really,
Hmm.
this is what you want to get. Like, you want to have this to be able to get business funding, right?
Okay.
Is the minimum 700 plus credit score, 2 years overall credit history. Of course, this is the minimum. The lower that it is, I mean, you're not going to get high
Yeah.
approvals, right? But this, like, if you just have this, like, you're going to get some less than 10% utilization on your credit cards with the
Yeah.
maximum of 20 overall. Uh, and I say 20 because I mean I've gotten approved higher, but once you're at no
Yeah.
neg
See, that's I think where my problem is. The utilization is that, you know, I know like there's TransUnion, there's Equifax, and there's
yeah.
Experience, right? So like they all have different ways of how utilization is
Mhm.
used. You know what I mean? So some places I see, okay, it's only 19%, some places 35%, some
Mhm.
places 49%. You know what I mean? So it all depends on, so it's like which way,
Yeah,
which route we go if you want to do business spending. So yeah, and I don't have no, like I said, if you go through that, yep, you know, everything is there except the number three, right?
mhm.
So
The
that's
utilization,
where
yeah.
I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That piece is usually the main thing that actually stops a lot of
Uh-huh.
people from getting funding. And I'll go into like how to bridge it,
Mhm.
like how you can like bridge that gap. But basically, this is like the act like what really
Mhm.
affects your approvals, right? And then I'll get into the actual strategy of like how to do it because this is like the bare minimum. Of course, these are like automatic years, by the way, actually. There's this bank called Flagstar. I took a client through, I think, yeah, I took them through there and they already had the bankruptcy removed, but I guess they spotted it in public records and they're like, anything within 30 years, it's like we don't accept.
Wow.
Um, which I thought was it was crazy. I thought that was crazy, but yeah, that was a regional bank, and we were also going for a line of credit as
Yeah,
well. So it wasn't even a credit card.
that is crazy.
Anyways, yeah. So like these are the auto declines, and then these ones are like maybe an approval. This is like with it comes with experience. Like once I sometimes can look at a file and I can just decide whether or not
Mhm.
it can get approved, right? Um, one thing is negative or older, they can still get approved. But if it's anything more than one, generally that's too much for a
Yeah,
business loan or credit product. It's just too much.
yeah.
But then like it's like what can I get? This is the actual like flow chart, and people make it like again. This is what I do. Like I have a funding company,
Mhm.
right? But I let people know it's not super complicated. The reason why like people are like use me is because I have the data points. It's not so much because it's a lot of work, but generally it's the time in
Mhm.
business and your score. Your time in business affects what you can get. So like 0 to 6 months, it's going to be unsecured business cards, right? If the business is 6 to 12 months, you're still business cards. Uh, um, you might find something that's stated income, right? But they might a lot of times they're going to want to verify.
Yep.
But sometimes you can find something that's stated income, like line of credit or term loan. but generally it's still going to be business cards. But then at the 2 year mark or more, everything basically becomes unlocked. But then it depends on the state if they do offer
Mm.
these types of products,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
No,
does
it
that make
does. It
sense?
does. You know,
Yeah,
and the state
and
I mean
so
is
that
like one of the worst ones too in California. So California is not friendly, not friendly enough. I'll put it that way. You know what I mean?
what yeah, and this is like how it works, but like what type oh I guess like what type of like actual finance because you say you want to do well yeah I mean this is like an overall view of like how it
Hmm.
all works, right? Yeah.
No, I was trying to look for duplex and fourplex. That's what I was looking for.
Uh,
That's I'm working on doing that. That's what I'm looking into that. So
got it.
that was my plan was that's what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you need the business. Basically, business is kind of saying I can switch that on a Secretary of State. I can open up, do a DBA on that. That's not an issue. It's just funding, how the funding works. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Hmm.
The business funding. It's like as I have kind of, like I said, the notes you have, yes, everything is there except the utilization. You know what I mean? So I was trying to work that out. Like I I'm trying to get that credit card utilization is down. That's
Yeah.
what I'm working on right now. So I have two credit cards. So I had a kind of a HELOC. So I'm working on the HELOC to get that down. So that'll be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that will, and hopefully if everything goes right, I should be good in about 3 to 4 weeks. I'd say about
Yeah.
3 weeks, it should be done. So that utilization got to be down to literally 3% on both of the
Okay.
cards. Because I'm gonna pay the one, I'm basically gonna pay completely one off, another one gonna be paid off 95%.
Yeah, and I was
But
gonna say that's how you bridge the like
yeah,
I've had people they're like, yeah, it's only the utilization stopping me. Same
yeah,
situation. And that was yeah, the way you're bridging it with a HELOC
yeah,
is what I would recommend. Or we would sometimes do personal loans, right? And
yeah. So
but in your
I'm
case,
doing
I
a
would
work.
just
Yeah,
do
I knew about that kind of a thing. So I said that's how I'm doing a HELOC right now. Actually, like TransUnion, I have no dinks, no inquiries on it. I had two Ecofax which I'm trying to get rid of because they're kind of not approved because account was
Mhm.
closed anyways. It doesn't show my reports. I'm trying to get rid of that. Experience I had, but which one I just did now for the HELOC, that's one new one. But other two, I'm trying to get rid of them too. So I'm working on that. I did send them FCRA law about a week ago. They got the letter. I'm just waiting for them to update me what their plan is because
Right.
I gotta wait at least 30 days. If those two and two are gone, literally I'm only gonna have one, inquiry on experience. That's it. So,
Right.
but it's just like it's gonna take me some time to get. I'm working on that, but like I said, by the time I'm hoping by first week of February or second of February, it should be all done. That's what I'm working on. So I will have a little bit more leverage. You know what I mean? How I can get that business credit done.
Right.
So that's the whole point.
Yeah,
So
you're
we'll
doing
see.
everything properly, by the way. Like you're
Okay.
doing your repair like I call it like repair, but like it's just file prep, right? Removing inquiries, anything. But you're
Yeah.
basically prepping your file, your credit file, and then you already have the plan for handling the utilization. And so
Yep.
really at this point, it's figuring out who like where do you want to go or like the type of product. And the reason why someone gets a business card, by the way, this is actually it's good that we talk about like how that works, the business cards like generally, that's what people are gonna be offering or recommending you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, yeah, a lot of the people in the funding space, that's what they're doing, right? Very rarely do
Okay.
you run into one that has like, because I actually know loan officers that do commercial, SBA, etc., right? But anyways, that's besides the point. But
Mm.
the main thing is you're gonna see a lot of people doing the business cards that they're gonna offer you that, and the way people use it for real estate, a lot of them use something called I think it's what's it called? You can invoice each other. Hold on, it's an invoicing thing. Invoice and pay with credit card. Uh, the heck? Because you need to get the money off the card. Plastique. Yeah. So, you basically are you gonna use Plastique to pay people? You have the person that's charging you. use like send you an invoice through Plastique to be able to use the credit card, right? And that's a way to cover like earnest money deposits, sometimes the down payment, right? Now, if you're
Okay.
not able to use Plastique for whatever reason, then there's other methods to liquidate the card, right? But generally that's what you're gonna have to be doing is liquidating the funds, right? And if you don't have the
Okay.
means to do it, then you might not be able to actually use that strategy, right? Um,
Got it.
Fix and flippers don't really have that issue though, because there are a lot of times they're already just using credit cards for the material, right?
Okay. Okay.
But that's generally how the business cards are used for real estate investing. It's either going to be covering earnest money deposit, the down payments, or the fix and flip material costs, right? And then the main thing that you're going to run into is that is liquidating or getting the card off, getting the money off the card. And then when it comes to how you do it, there's Plastique, right? They
Hmm.
have to use Plastique to invoice you. If for
Okay.
whatever reason that doesn't become an option, then uh, you just have to know someone with a merchant account that's comfortable
Got
with
it.
invoicing you, basically,
Okay.
right? So,
So once I get this whole credit thing working and all this stuff, so should I just reach out to you, see what our option will be, and go from there? Will that make sense?
yeah, if you want, I mean, really, the way my course is set up, because what again, people, a lot of people do this as a service, right? And the thing
Okay.
is, my thing shows you the basics and fundamentals, and then
Okay.
even then, like towards the end, I show you like just a real quick snippet of what it's like the credit stack, and then the like if you want to just do it all yourself, that's what the premium is. Like you'll actually
Okay.
have my strategy for credit stacking the 0% cards.
Got it. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So yeah, I'll definitely get that lookout to go from there, see how that works. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
like just let me know whenever or any questions you have and I can
Yeah,
just
I'll reach out to you. I have the school information. I see you there, so I'll definitely look it up and ask you what I need to do and go from there. That'd be awesome. I really appreciate that. All the
no
help.
no absolutely. Out of how did you find me by the way, just out of curiosity?
Through Instagram.
Instagram.
Yep, through
Okay.
Instagram. You were coming through that. I was going, the algorithm and all this stuff, right? So I was
Okay.
falling through, looking through real estate, looking through, then when you start talk and being, I've blocked a lot of stuff, but still come through stuff. I'm an IT guy by myself, but it
Mm,
was interesting to read up on it. I'm like, okay, let me try the how TradeLine works and go from there. So that's where I
yeah.
said you were doing it. But I'm like, let me talk to him, see how it works. Because I know some things about it. I'm not saying I'm like I know, the realization matters, your credit matters, like all the stuff. Like I do have a one car loan already on my stuff, so that's not bad. Like I have
Mm,
all the requirement kind of a thing, just except the utilization. So I said,
yeah.
okay, let me work on that, see how that works. So I told you what I'm trying to do, get that down, and then go and look at it, see how funding gonna go. So that was the whole point. So like I said, I missed all the information you gave me. That helps a lot. So what I'll do is once
Mhm.
everything goes down, like in about a month or so, I'll reach out to you. I see, you can upgrade to VIP and the services bar. So we'll go from there, see how that works. We go, and I'll go get that going. That will work.
Cool. That sounds
Cool.
cool. Well, I'm
Thank you,
glad I
man.
was able to answer that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm glad that went through because yeah, a lot of people ask about that.
And I really appreciate that. But now, thanks for information. Then, like I said, give me about 3 weeks of break, and I'll reach back out to you, and then we'll start services, see how it works. That'd be great. Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good one. Take care.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Yeah,
So yeah, I was just looking. Oh, go ahead.
oh, oh no, I was what were you saying?
No, I was just kind of looking over the school thing here, and I like how you have the two sections where one is focused on the personal credit, and then the other one digs more into the business credit. And I like how you have them both there because one of the things that I've been learning as I've been dealing with other investors and
Right.
making connections for them and stuff, that that is really both, like you were just saying, like that personal credit is a big deal in getting funded, and it would have to be a really established business for it to be a business that gets credit entirely from the business credit, you know. Um, but I'm glad for this because one of the things that I've kind of been doing is just watching random YouTube videos on
Right.
credit. And so I like how it's systematized here. And that's the way I think too. I like to see just organized, systemized format. If I can read it, it's better because then I think it sticks better than just watching a video that you forget about. So I'm going to work through this because in my situation, I spent most of my life as a broke musician. And
Mm.
so most of my life was just a big financial mess because I just didn't put a lot of, because every time I tried to think about it, it was just a frustrating, painful subject. So I just tried
Right.
to avoid thinking about it, just focused on what the music when I was doing. And I finally got to the point where I was like, you know, I want to start turning things around. I want to gain financial freedom. I want to pursue my art for art's sake, not be concerned about just, you know, making a living. And so that kind of started this road toward pursuing financial freedom.
Right.
And so even, you know, I'm in the lending business, but really it's, you know, I'm lending other people's money. I'm basically an independent sales rep. So I'm making the connections. There's teams that handle
Yeah.
all the paperwork, you know, it's other people's money. And so I'm treating it like a business, focusing on it like a business, but that's still a need for me for me to ultimately get to the point where I can get business funding when I'm ready to start investing.
Hmm.
And so that's definitely been on my radar is during credit repair and working on reestablishing and just, well, not really reestablishing, establishing good credit,
Yeah.
repairing old bad credit and establishing good credit. Because just for a long time I didn't use it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah,
um,
it for a moment in my life, like 23, right? Like it's funny, every and that's what I like about my like what I do is a lot of the times when I say something or speak about something, it's because I learned it, right? And I'm not saying
mm,
that's the right way to do it, the best way. It was just the situation, right? And it's like I just had to do it on my own. So and I had to solve a lot of issues on my own, right? Because one of them was defaulting on my credit cards that I got when I was 21. Because at the time, I tell people everything that's going on today with the internet marketing, make money online, what it all started, I at least I got exposed to it in 2016, and it wasn't as big as people like see it for what it is today. But it was always generally the same idea. You get yourself funded, you hop into an opportunity, and then you do well for yourself. And clearly, I made some mistakes because I defaulted at 23 on about $100,000 worth of personal credit, and that's what like forced me to learn credit repair to the level that I know it now. Right now, I'm actually implementing a new repair system that is different from all the other format, like everything else I've seen. So I'm actually in the process of learning that. And actually, once I figure, like, it's not that I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured it out, but I want to implement it. And then I don't know how I'm going to teach it to people or at least show it to people because of the method, right? And I can kind of dive into it, I guess, if that's something that you would want to do or look at.
sure. I mean, I feel like, uh, you know, I just need to take time to read through it first. So I'm not just like, because if you've taken all this time to like write it all out, I feel
Mhm.
like I'm kind of wasting your time if I'm asking you basic questions I could just go, you know, read
No,
in that.
the credit repair stuff, that stuff's new. That stuff is not
Oh,
anywhere.
okay.
Yeah, it's not even anywhere in my guide. But the thing is that it's I don't it's good info and I don't mind showing people. I want to show people, but I'm thinking
Okay.
of like I just haven't done it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I've used for a short amount of time, but I just started using it, so I don't know what the results are going to be yet. But
Mhm.
you've heard of Dispute Beast?
Dispute Beast? Yes, I heard of
Yeah.
Dispute Beast. Is it like $50 a month, right? Or
Yeah,
something like
something like
that?
that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good, but I haven't used it long enough to have any personal results to say one way or the other. I mean, have like what have you heard about it?
So I have it's I've heard of both that people get results and they don't, right? And it has to do with how the credit bureaus handle disputes, really is how it goes. And what I mean by that is the dispute method that it uses, I think it's like templates, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the thing with the templates is there's nothing bad with it. It depends on like how it's written as well. Uh, like there's like at the credit repair agencies, there's these robots that read the letters, right? Obviously, it's not humans servicing the whole United States, but it's robots. And the thing is that they see similar letters that they believe come from like repair agencies. Well, what they do to basically get around your dispute is they say a third party can't dispute on your behalf, right? And so they continue to flag your letter and just deny the dispute reason, even
Mm.
though you're using the proper like either the proper law or everything, right? But it's because you're getting flagged that way. And that's
Yeah, I noticed I had a bunch of it come back to me. That basically they were denying, all of
they say
that because
it's like verified or it's like a
yeah, they
stall
said it.
letter.
Yeah, it looked like they weren't sure if it was like a legitimate dispute letter or something like that. But I've
Exactly.
only done
Yeah.
one round, so like I don't.
That's called a stall letter, right? And even I get those, right? And the thing is though, is the stall letter is sent out when they believe it's a third party repairing the credit, which it's almost always the case, right? And so they send the stall letter and if you don't know how to respond, generally that's what causes you to miss, right? Um but that's what the templates do. They continue to get flagged for the stall letters. They don't even look at them, right? And what I do is like I still will get stall letters, but because I'm the way I'm writing the letters and applying the specific credit repair law that I'm using, it puts them in
Mhm.
a place where they like if they send me stall letters, they're creating a violation, right? Because I'm asking for like very specific things to be done, right? So um
Mhm.
and I'm also not claiming that the letter is mine either. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, sorry, not the letter, but that the account's not mine. I dispute the actual like information. Like I dispute the accuracy of it, right?
Mhm.
And then the again the way I write it is just that it follows like a certain framework for me to be able to twist it. And I can show an example of a letter, right? Um,
Okay.
here. Let me just pull up a couple things. And really, the thing is that what's different as well is I follow something called damages, facts, and penalties. So damages is like how they basically the effects of bad credit and basically the negligence of not following the law. The facts is how
Mhm.
they broke the law, and then the penalties is like the what I basically what I get for them not following the law, right? And that's basically like how the difference between me and everyone else. Everyone else is either doing a 605B dispute method or they're using templates, and I'm still following a dispute flow, but it's like how I write my letter that's different, right? And that's what forces like not forces, but that's what gets me the deletions, right?
Mhm.
So um this is like an example of a flow, of an attack flow. So these are the actual like laws that I use in the first round letter, right? And this is like a 12-month like flow. And this is an old letter. This won't work anymore because it goes back to like how like you have to refresh the letters, right? But basically the very opening paragraph is my damages,
Mhm.
right? Like the bad credit basically affects my life, right? And it's basically the credit reporting agency's fault for it, right? And then I create my facts, like how they broke the law, and then the penalty of them breaking the law, right? And that's how I'm using the credit repair laws to get results, right? So it's much different, and no one has this letter because I refresh it every two
Mhm.
months, right? But I mean, I have the template just like
So are you just kind of writing it out
uh,
by hand, or you use AI to kind of like with the general guideline to just spit something out, or?
no, I write it out myself. I just type it out and I just answer the questions, like for example the damages. Basically the framework is you just answer three questions. It's like what happened, how it affected your life, how it made you feel, and then why you're in this situation, which is the credit agency's fault.
Mhm.
So, uh, what happened? Here it is. Like you're furnishing inaccurate information. Oh, Samantha's here. I don't know who Samantha is, but that's okay. Here, let me greet
Mhm.
them real quick. Hey, Samantha. I'm just showing Aaron's credit repair stuff. But once I'm done, you can answer any questions as well, either on the topic or just anything. But anyway, so yeah, it's the what, how, why framework. So what happened is they're furnishing inaccurate information on the credit report, right? Um, Now, how did it affect their life? Because of your unreliable reporting habits, I am forced to work extra hours day in and day out, losing all my spare time. So that's, how it's affecting their life. The credit bureau reporting these inaccuracies, and then why? Um, it's caused by yeah, all this is caused by inaccurate reports, right? And it's because they're reporting it
Yeah.
falsely. You see what I'm saying? And so that's how I create my damages for this specific law, right? And then here the facts is like how they actually broke the law, right? And so what I'm doing is um is basically I'm just proving that they broke the law, and then I'm creating these damages, and then I'm letting them know what would happen if we go to court. Because you've heard of people saying that you should sue the agencies, right? If they won't remove
I haven't
items.
heard that
Have you
specifically,
heard of
no,
that?
but it seems like something that'd be very costly to try to do anyway.
No, but this is how you would do it. This is how you would create like facts and for your actual court case. And then this is also the reason why this letter works is because I am stating the damages from them breaking the law. I'm stating the facts of how they broke the law, and then I'm stating the penalties, right? And then if you get in the later rounds, like this is round two, it gets more aggressive, right? And then here you'll see in the penalty section, um, I suggest you delete reporting the following items to avoid having to pay me actual damages under, and then you save the law, right? But that's what I do differently from others. So I'm still following a repair flow, and most likely your templates they most likely follow this flow. But the difference is because it's
Right.
such a generic letter, the robots are suing me and everyone else is that like this is like very specific, and I'm stating certain things that have occurred, right? I'm being forced to work extra hours, and I'm creating damages, like actual things that if they were to ignore, they could face legal penalties and things like that, right?
Right.
And it's something that works. So
Oh, interesting. So this is something that you're going to be sharing at a later time.
yeah, yeah. Right now, I'm implementing this new system into my business, right? Uh, and I already know it. I already know it, right? It's just more making sure everyone else is up to speed on it, right? So, but I want to teach people this because you already see like the natural progression of
Right.
like how it goes. And then what's cool is like all my strategies for business applies to personal
Right.
as well,
Yeah, I
right?
think a lot of my stuff is
So,
probably old enough that I could still just do the business building part and it's still going to benefit, but there's still stuff on my report that's old and that I need to work on.
mhm.
But
Yeah, so um and that's the thing about repair though. You see, like I try to give a quick explanation of it, but then it can sometimes get into the weeds of things, and it's because you're talking about letter, at least the way I'm doing it now is like there's letter writing involved, and then the law is easy. if you just follow the flow, you know. Um, so yeah,
All right. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it.
no, absolutely.
So I'll give Samantha a chance to jump on and ask any of her questions.
I'm just still being observant. I'm still new to the whole thing. I have clients that are already, I would say, eligible for funding.
Mm,
I myself, I saw that, um, mine is the school loan issue that, to get PG funded, but I have several businesses that keep going downhill. So, I saw your post and I said, let me jump in and see what I missed. So I was just observing and trying to learn.
no, absolutely. I'm happy you're here. The school group's new, but I've been in funding and credit for 9 years. How long ago did you join the school group? Just out of curiosity.
Um, around Thanksgiving time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you join through like one of the groups I was in, or how'd you find my group?
One of your groups because I've been getting emails. Oh my gosh, about a year because I've been in this group. Like I don't want to like a funnel email I've been getting,
Mhm.
and then it told me that a group was started.
Oh, we probably spoke a long time ago. You probably before I had my website up. Because I was telling everyone that I would work through referrals. Um, so maybe it was through like Alizé, Bryce, or someone from one of them, you know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, the
But
school.
I work with a lot of investors, and I have a lot of clients that are business owners
Mhm.
that want to get funded, and so it just made sense to try to learn it and also get myself funded. And in the process of getting them funded, I would be able to do it for myself and learn.
Right. No, yeah, and what's cool about the group, like the group is intended, well, really, I'm noticing it's a mix of people that are either in the credit space, have credit background, and they want to learn, or it's business owners, real estate investors that are wanting to learn as well, right? And
Yeah.
the way I am is I don't care if it's someone else in the credit space. I'm
Mhm.
happy to teach them, if anything,
The
yeah,
thing is, I
I'm
don't
happy.
know if I want to be
Oh,
in the credit space, but it,
mhm.
it keeps popping back up. I got a potential new client yesterday,
Yeah.
and in doing a mini consultation, she told me she just gave $2,000 for someone to repair her credit. But when I looked at her credit, she had a 690, a 715, and a
Yeah.
720. And I said, if you're looking to get funding to purchase a business or to reinvest into real estate, and I said, what am I doing wrong? And I looked at it and said, you probably need a few trade lines.
Mhm.
But if you're open to PGing, why have you not considered credit card stacking? And I'm like, you know what, let me be quiet because she's already given her money to a credit repair company. And so then I was like, how am I supposed to help her if she's giving her money to a credit repair company, but she came to me on a referral
Mhm.
for funding? And
Yeah.
so, you know,
See, yeah,
yeah.
this is why I created the group, and this is why I'm also happy to show other people in the credit space or just any doesn't matter whether they want to be involved in
Hmm.
funding, they don't want to be involved. If they have questions about how to do it, I want to be the one to help because that what you just mentioned about like being at a 690 and then at a 720 and then paying $2,000 for credit repair, honestly, sounds really fishy to me, and I don't like that stuff, you
Yep.
know. As I mentioned, I've been doing this for like 9 years. I started it off through building my business through referrals, right? Um, And I decided to start to market because I started like it feels like this year and last I got a lot of stories about of just the weirdest things where before and I think it just has to do with funding's more common now, right? Um, but yeah, that sounds weird. I don't know why they're doing that. And it would be hard to say like why that's happening without looking at their credit, you know?
I've been waiting on her to send me a report so I can
Mm,
um, shoot it through AI or whatever it's supposed to do. But I've been trying to teach myself how to do it because it keeps falling in my lap.
right.
But because I'm in real estate, the credit repair always comes up, especially around this time. And
Mm,
I made an attempt to try to do a credit repair company, but it was too intense. Being that I'm already in real estate, being that I'm
mm,
already helping people funding, I to me it's better for me to work with someone or work with a company that can process my clients. And I've even done that. I've given a couple months ago, I gave like 10 of my clients to a credit report company. They never followed
mm.
up. They let my clients go by the wayside, and I had to
Oh
follow up
my,
with my clients. And I just gave them a random app that I saw online, Dovely, and I
yeah.
said, "Hey, use this app." I knew I was losing money,
Uh-huh.
but it was just that it's like very intense, and so I wanted to find a automated system or something that could
Mm,
assist with the credit repair, keep them with me as my client, and then transition them into funding and still get paid from funding them because I've gotten
mm,
$80,000 for my client a couple months ago. I never got paid for it. The company that I reached out and acted on behalf of my client, and I told them who I was.
right.
They they communicated with my client. They kept following up with him until they got him to finally move forward with funding. Then when he
Right.
got funded, I didn't get paid. So
Yeah. That's
I
wait,
need to.
did the company have any sort of referral agreement with you or no?
No, I didn't. I wasn't
They-
smart enough then.
Mm,
Now after it happened, I'm getting smarter. I've funded $100,000 before. I
right.
was working with another guru, but he only gives 1%. So of the hundred
Mm,
thousand dollars, I got $1,000, but then it deducted down to $800 after it was taxed.
wow.
So I don't like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. He was a guru, but he could fund contractors. He could fund clients, and my clients, most of my clients, they're business owners or they're
Right.
real estate, and so they have high credit scores. But the fact that the ones that without the high credit scores, they
Mm,
had revenue, so it's I could jump from either system, and that's what I'm looking for, some way to show them and build them up. Even the client I got yesterday, she's still talking to me today. She's like, get me funded. I don't care if I paid someone 2 grand.
uh-huh.
He just called me and told me I have 2 items that I need to delete, and I said, so are they going to help you get funding? She's like, no, they're only going to repair my
Man.
credit, but I'm willing to pay you. And then I said, oh goodness, how am I going to position myself to get paid when my mind is circling over her just spending 2 grand? She might
Mm,
then say to me, well, I gave someone 2 grand. I don't want to give you 1,500 to start the process. You know, again,
yeah. And
I had 3 funding clients this week, and
yeah,
I didn't
that
close one of them.
I'm telling you, three funding clients
I
is
didn't close any one of them. They
no, that's
all wanted me
okay.
to get paid on the back end.
And that's not a problem. But what
Mhm.
I'm saying is three funding clients is if let's say they each get 100,000 and you do a 10% funding fee, that's like at least 30,000, right? But there's different pricing models. And the reason why you're feeling this way as far as like why can't like, I guess having the asking them to pay you like those large amounts or even just thinking about the funding is the lack of knowledge, and that's not your fault, because I felt the same way when I was younger learning all this. I would walk in, I that's how I built all this, was walking into banks, figuring out how I can get a personal credit card. And like so the I know the anxiety and the feeling that comes with the lack of preparation and not knowing, right? And my thing is like you'll actually learn how to fund, and I don't gatekeep. Like even just like this basic piece right here is enough for you to go and stack on your own. And I'll show you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I here this is in the core guide. This is in the core guide, and this is the fundamentals of credit stacking. This alone is enough for you to like basically figure it out, and you'll know what questions to ask from there. But the actual like now, how do I become like I guess get more savvy with it? Then that's all this is the premium,
Mm-hmm.
the business funding blueprint, which is that this is my
The
actual funding
business funding that
strategies,
I
right?
know of is
You
the
know?
old way, and I'm not interested in the old way to tier one, tier two, because I hate to say that a lot of people are looking for the quick process. So
Mm.
most of my clients, they want to be funded in the next 3 to 15 days. They
Yeah.
don't care that they have to pay a fee. They don't care about the, like I said, this is what keeps dropping in my lap. I got 3 clients this week, and one is in foreclosure,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted me to get them funded so they can get the money
Right.
to pay the debt, so their house wouldn't be taken. And I had
Mhm.
9 days, and I did not charge her my consultation fee up front, because I'm also a real estate agent, so I have to be careful
Right.
how I move with them. So I said, okay, so I I waived the consultation. It sounds like I'm not ready. I've been doing this for years. I
Mhm.
just don't normally take money. I normally don't take money
No,
because
yeah.
I
Mhm.
know I can get money on the back end. So these are all my clients that I have been with. I've helped people buy cars through the banks. Again, it's me not communicating and taking money from them. And I
Yeah.
just decided that I was going to start collecting fees as a
Mhm.
consultant, and collect the money. The reason why I'm saying that I did not close them is because they're working with multiple people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. I need to be the one that transitions them
Mhm.
from one thing to the next and move them forward, because they're more likely to stay with me when I educate them on the process, and then they get funded. I like
No.
to pull their report, because
Mhm.
I have access to pull their credit report. So I pull their credit report, I send it, get an analysis done, and I look at all the banks they've been through. I've had a client that we did stacking with. He did stacking with another company, and I was able to get him funded through another company. But again, they didn't want to disclose how they were getting the monies and the fees and everything like that. So my client didn't want to work with them, and he didn't
Mhm.
want to do round two of credit card stacking. So I was able to find another way for him to get his 100K.
Yeah.
But I still make money on the back end because it's my client, because I'm also the realtor.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So
I know exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get paid more than
But
one way.
you want to
So
hop into those deals,
yeah,
and so the
when she says I'm
hesitation
not
though.
ready, I said no, it's not that I'm not ready. I want to get funded. I want to
Uh,
get paid. I have opportunities to get paid at least 5 different ways with my clients.
it's just
Helping
the
them
that piece,
utilize, yeah,
getting that piece.
helping them utilize other private clients that I can do Gator with, because I have clients that do a lot of flips, but they don't have the 10K or the 2K or the 5K to start to transition that. I have clients that have money.
Mm.
Yes, so I'm trying to create a method and trying to create something that
I
go ahead.
No, yeah, you're
You
good.
were
I
about
was
to say
gonna say,
something.
but with the funding knowledge that I know, you can do that because you don't need and the thing is I talk about Paydex, but during that section I really break it down, and that's what my webinar is gonna be about, is about Paydex and how to get funded. And you don't need it. As long as you're a 700 plus score, you can do it. And I know again, like with the premium stuff, like I can break down like the data points and really like yeah show you how to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my intentions were to like show people how to do it for themselves, like business owners, but if it's gonna help you expand your business, like I don't care. Like I'll show you because
I've
like
been with programs before that I've
yeah.
paid 2-3 grand, and it was I'm not going to say the name of the company, but they assist in putting you through all the tiers.
Yeah, I
And
know what you're
they
talking
give
about.
you but then they also have, because they have a reseller program. Hey, learn how to do this for yourself, and then you resell this back to your clients. So the
Yeah.
space I've been, like I said, I never collect the money because my thing was the contractual obligation to me as an
Mm.
agent and me as a consultant.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then right now, the next thing we have, at least in your situation, is that you just need the resource to be able to say, yes, I can do it in those situations. And I know
Mhm.
how what it feels like to be in that situation as well, where you're
Mhm.
like, if I had it, because of you just know who you are, like you would
Mhm.
crush it, you know?
Yeah, and the credit part, I wanted to work with someone or a company that would handle the credit component because I
Mhm.
didn't want to get stuck with the credit, and
Yeah.
then because they try to make me responsible for their credit report, so I don't want to get stuck with the credit, but it's okay for me to get stuck with the funding because it's 1, 2, 3, but the credit is a 3 to 6 month process, and
Yeah, it can be 3 to 6, sometimes up to
Mhm.
12. If it's a serious case, I've seen it take up to 12. And I was actually telling Aaron, I before like you hopped on in the middle. That was actually my repair strategy that I was explaining.
Oh, okay.
Everyone else I was explaining does either templates or they're basically they're lying on FTC fraud forms and saying that they experience identity theft. And it's just, it's a gray area, and it's a gray area that some people just aren't comfortable with because we don't know what can happen if you were to get caught lying on something like that, you know? So does it work? It absolutely works, but yeah, my method is different from all that.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
I've put my last client through credit repair. They did everything. It took 3 months, and I increased their funding from them being funded for only 200 to up to $300,000. And they are so happy because now I can help them even more. So I can get paid more, you know. That's
Yeah,
why
so
I said the
adding
credit
funding
repair is, that's why
would
everyone,
be
they all ask me, do you do credit repair? Do you have a credit repair person? I said, you know?
yeah. No, yeah, I'm actually on the process of finishing that up. I'm almost done. There's just a couple things I need to do, and then the funding, yeah, like I'm more than happy to show you. And I don't know if you saw like the onboarding call link, like you can always click on that and
Yes.
schedule something. And there I can really break down real like any sort of like specific feedback on your situation, you know? So you're always welcome to do that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Cynthia, I mean, I had a schedule for an hour, but I'm not doing anything honestly. So I don't know if you had questions, Cynthia, as far as like the school group. Okay. All right. Well, oh wait, hold on. I don't. Thank you. You don't? Okay. Well, yeah, again, I'm David. I'm the admin of the group. I know a lot about business credit, personal credit, credit repair, and there's a lot of people that come here. As you can see, Samantha, she's a realtor, and it seems like investment real estate. So there's a lot of cool people. And my goal for this group is to really build it up and get more people involved. And I'm seeing who's joining and how things are going. And that's kind of determined the vibe, I guess. Just naturally build on its own. So, um, yeah. The next thing, I guess I can show you guys the next thing I have planned is the actual webinar that I wanna this is what I really want to work on because it's gonna put everything together as far as business credit goes. Hold on, let me just label this webinar. Okay. Oh, I record this. I'm gonna share the recording as well on YouTube and the group. This this recording. along with the Fathom notes. So you guys will get the notes. But basically, this is the webinar I'm going to be working on. So basically, everyone always asks, what is business credit? That's like where I start. And then it's going to be going into what PG versus non-PG is, because that's the main reason why people get it. And then basically, this is this is like my rough draft. It's going to be talking about visibility and structure, and then that's why people Paydex, vendor visibility versus lending visibility. There's two different things, right? And that's Paydex builds the vendor, but it doesn't build lending visibility, right? And then then this goes into what gets the business funding, right? And from here is the most common product that everyone sells. I'm not saying that that's what is business funding. What I'm saying is this is like the most common thing that people are talking about when they say business funding, right? And then go into the credit stack, because I'm just going off like what people have told me. When someone says business credit, really they're talking about this, but there's all this stuff, like all these lies that I don't know where they originated from, but where they tell you certain things are needed. So I have to answer all these questions before I can get to here, you know? But I think this is going to be one of the most, for free for what it is, really breaking it. It's going to be really good. Because, yeah, even Samantha said there's places that charge like $2,000 to $3,000 to show you how to build a Paydex, and it doesn't even get you funding. And I'm about to show people how to build a Paydex and actually get funding. So, yeah, that's my TED Talk on my next webinar.
All right, looking forward to it. Is that next Saturday, same time?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when it'll be ready. But I'm gonna be doing live Q&As. It might be just every Saturday at 6. I just do Q&As. Also, can you create money partners with funding? What do you mean by that? Yeah, you can create money partners, I think. Unless you mean something else.
No, that is what I meant. Some people who get funded and they have the credit, just like how if you have great credit, a lot of people can utilize their credit to get paid and put others on as secondary
Oh, okay.
users.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
As authorized users. On top of that, like I was telling you, people who have certain deals or they have certain businesses they'd like to acquire and they need a ED, escrow deposit, and they don't have it right now because they might be waiting on funding. Someone could assist them, and things of that nature. That's why I said a money partner or
Yes. No, yeah, that's actually because Aaron's from Gator, like the sub, like Pace Morby's Gator group.
yeah, I'm in there too.
Oh, you are? Okay, perfect. So yeah, a lot of Gators, they start off with business card funding, and then as they grow their businesses, sometimes they can even get like a business line of credit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. I've done a business. I know how to get a business line of credit. I've done it. So yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and if you're talking about earnest money deposit loans, that's something that I can provide. So they don't necessarily need business credit for that. They don't need any kind of credit as long as the EMD remains refundable and the deal closes before the end of that refundable period.
Oh, you do double closing. Okay.
Yeah, double closing, the stack or Morby method. Yeah, basically, yeah, like EMD and transactional lending. That's what I'm really focused on.
Okay. What's an echo stack? I've never heard of that one.
Well, stack is another name for the Morby method, but echo is it's an interesting transaction. That's where it's a wholesaler that's selling a property to an end buyer, and maybe the end buyer needs help with the down payment. And so if he's buying it at a discount under the as-is value, the hard money lenders or the DSCR lenders, they're going to base the loan amount that they give on a percentage of either the purchase price or of the purchase price, assuming the purchase price is lower than the as-is value. So let's say they provide 80%. What the wholesaler can do is raise the price on paper to help, and then the wholesaler pays the deposit, right? So it's sort of a, a little transaction trick. So the wholesaler raises the price. That means you can't see my hands, but the wholesaler raises the price. And then which means that the DSCR lender, the hard money lender, then lends a proportionally higher amount, right? And then, but they're still going to need to see that extra 20%, 25%, whatever. So then the wholesaler is going to pay all or part of that deposit. It's a way of helping the end buyer pay that deposit. And the wholesaler still gets compensated because even though he's raising the price on paper, that extra amount that he raises is going to go toward that deposit. And so the benefit to the wholesaler is that there's possibly a chance of making a little bit more on the transaction by helping out the end buyer. And also it helps the deal close. And obviously for the end buyer, there's a benefit for him because then there's support, there's help for that gap funding. So it's basically it's a possible gap funding solution if the deal is right, if the numbers work out.
Okay, sounds like my last deal. They rejected it.
Okay.
The wholesaler wanted an $80,000 assignment fee, but he was trying to explain to them, like, I'm covering most of the deal because you're bringing me an end buyer. But the end buyer wanted the property for like 180, and the wholesaler was trying to get rid of it for like 250. So then, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, and a lot of times if the wholesaler's making a big fee on it, it's probably smart for them to just do a double close because that avoids the end buyer from seeing how much the wholesaler's making, and then it avoids the seller from seeing how much the wholesaler's making. So it just
I'm trying
it
to get
just
them
makes it
funded.
easy for the wholesaler.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to get them funded because I said, you know what? I think you should just capture the property yourself, and then, you know, I can send it back out so I can find you an end buyer that way because they want to do it retail. They don't want to keep it off market because they want to make as much money as possible. And I said, well,
right.
you already have the hands of the owner, get them under contract and go for it in that capacity, but then they need a probate attorney and then they need this and then I was like, I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna snap your stuff. This is a nice group. I like
Yeah, I mean, if you like, we could have
diverse
a,
people in this group, because I like to work with a lot of people.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then I'm
I'm
happy
building
to
it up.
connect on a call or whatever. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you there.
no, you're good. I'm just saying I'm still building it up. So I appreciate you guys being here.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm glad I hopped on. It was kind of a last minute thing because you'd messaged me, and I was like, well, yeah, I might as well hop on. Wasn't doing anything super important at the moment, so uh, I'm glad I did.
And me
Yeah.
too. When I saw it, I said, "Oh
Yeah.
no, this is the group that I was trying to get information from." Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. Yeah, I have big plans for this group. The lives, we'll see how the schedule goes, but any feedback, just let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. I see you put your blink in, Aaron, and I'll save that. I'll bookmark it
All
here.
right.
Yeah.
And Cynthia and Samantha, if you want to connect, feel free to connect. I'd be happy to talk to you over the phone or Zoom for a few minutes and see if we can support each other.
Okay, okay. I will. I will take that information.
Yeah.
Let me get back in the group. Let's see. There it goes. Are you going to be offering a different level of trade lines, business trade lines also, or?
No, so I just picked the name because it just I knew the right anyone in this industry would see that and they'll be like, oh, let me just see what it's about, right?
Mhm.
That's why I picked it. Um, it's just really the secrets to business credit, how to get it, and all that. Yeah,
Okay. Get through the gatekeepers.
yeah. Well, I think I'm glad. I'm actually glad it went. I was a little nervous when I first hopped on because it was just Aaron, and I don't know. I think the others were just recording bots, but um. I'm glad it went for this long. There was good info, and I'm gonna upload the recording as well in the group. And I also my YouTube, I always put it on YouTube, the recording. So, and this one specifically, I talk about business funding, like the strategy, like just the group, and then also there's a piece in that I talk about credit repair, and I'll timestamp it so that way you guys can just click on whatever timestamp. Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
thank
sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm around if you need anything, message me. And I guess yeah, I guess I'm gonna end it here unless there's any other. Is there anyone else have questions, concerns, anything that I can help answer? No? Okay. Seems like we're good. Well, yeah, let me know, and once the webinar is done, you'll see it in the group as well. Appreciate you guys.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Take care, David. Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
All right.
Good night. Thanks.
Mm.